Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Mr. Derek again from Brudders Books, and we are going to draw a really cool island. Here's a quick video of how our painting turns out. I love this one. I hope you are really excited to follow along with me. So my drawing materials today are just a pencil and some markers and paper, but you guys can use whatever you have at home. Let's start. So I want to draw the first part of our island. Now our island's sitting on the water, so I'm going to go ahead and draw that water line here. So let's draw a nice line going all the way across, just like that. And a good size too. We can go almost all the way across the paper because we want to make sure we have a lot of room for our island to put really fun stuff on. Okay, so for the next step, we are going to do our island. So our island's sitting in the water, so I want to draw a half circle shape. And this almost will look like a sun setting in the water or rising from it. So we're going to draw a nice curve shape that comes from one side over to the next. Just like that. Really cool. So I want to go ahead and start on doing some bushes. So I want to add some bushes from the left, and we'll kind of make our way over to the right. So over in this area is a good place to start. I'm going to draw a really funky little bush. So I'm going to come up and do a line like this, and then repeat the other way and stop about halfway down. And then I'm going to just kind of repeat that all the way through till I hit probably the bottom in this area here. So if you watch me, I'm going to go up again, down, kind of come up again here. And each shape could be a little bit different size because plants are like that. Every part of the plant is always a little bit different. There we go. So we got a nice little plant here. And then I actually want to put in a really cool palm tree. So I'm going to start with the palm tree trunk. And I always like making my palm tree trunks kind of curving over a little bit. Not so much straight, but I like a little curve in it. Kind of looks like it's bending over from our sand as it's leaning over, giving some shade to our plant. So doing that, I went ahead and just did one curved line here. And then I just repeated that step right next to it. And then from here, we're going to do the palms. So the palm leaves are very similar to the leaves that we did here. Same shape. So I'm going to start right here where we stopped on our tree trunk. And I'm going to come out with a nice curved shape here. Almost like a smiley face. Doesn't look like a smile. And then I'm going to come back and stop right around there. And I'm going to do this 3 or 4 more times. Just depends on how many times it'll take me to go all the way around. So we'll try this again. We'll come up. Do a nice curve shape. And then again, we're going to just keep repeating that step. We're going to curve back down. So it kind of widens out and goes right back a little bit more tighter on that area where we started. It almost looks like, think about it like a big flower. So flowers have these really cool petals that have that same curvedness to it. So you can think about that too as you're drawing your palm. Just in case if you ever did this on your own, not watching the video, you can always remember, oh, I remember what a flower looked like. And that might help you remember how to draw this palm tree. So again, we're going to finish this last one. I'm going to do this nice curve here and then just end it right back into our tree trunk. Just like that. All right, this is really cool. And so I always like drawing coconuts coming from the coconut tree. So we have a nice palm tree, but our coconuts also come from palm trees. So we're going to add a coconut shape here. We're going to draw just a circle, kind of going right behind our leaf here, our palm. And then I'm going to draw another one actually over here falling, like it just fell from our palm tree. And to show that, I might even add a couple little straight vertical lines that just fell off the tree like it's falling, like we just captured it. This is really cool. All right, so the next thing I want to actually add is our hut. I want to add a cool little hut, like maybe somebody's living on the island. So I'm going to start with kind of right in the middle of our hump. And I'm going to do a nice curve shape. Very similar to how we kind of did our palm here, but I'm going to do it the opposite direction. I'm going to draw right to the edge of our sand beach here. And then I'm going to repeat this same shape on this side. I'm going to do a nice gap here because we're also going to put in like a door. We can even maybe put in a window too. And so I'm going to do that same shape going the other direction like this, a nice curved shape. And then we're going to do the roof. Now we're going to make the roof out of these palm leaves. So first we want to add a nice shape where we can add those in. So I'm thinking of like a very similar triangle shape. So I'm going to look in the middle of our two shapes and come up about this high, make a little dot. And I'm going to make a line going out this way, and it can have a little bit of a curve to it, going just past our curve shape here from our hut. And then I want to repeat that over here. I'm going to curve it past our hut wall here. So it almost looks like an arrow. And then we're going to finish the bottom the same way that we kind of did these palms. So we're going to do these nice curve shapes. And it's okay if we go right over our line because we can erase that too. And then I'm going to continue that going all the way over to the other side. So just keep making those same curved shapes like you've done on the palm tree. And as we keep coming over, we're going to just slowly connect it to the other side of our roof. Just like that. And I have an eraser, so I'm going to just erase that little inside line that came through. Because we have the roof that sits on top of our hut. And then I want to add one more layer of palm trees. So this palm is going to come up about half away from our roof, and it's going to be the same shape. So we're going to do those nice curved palm shapes here. I'm going to do 3. So 1, 2, and then 3, and then end it right there on the other side. All right, this is really cool. So we have a nice little hut. We have some palm leaves for the roof, very tropical. And then now we need to put a door in. So our character, whoever lives here, can kind of go in and out. So for the door, we're going to do a nice tall rectangle shape. So I'm going to have a little bit of the curve to it still. I'm going to put our door on this side, but you could put yours in the middle or on the left. And I'm going to come right over, just like a rectangle does, and then come right back down the other way. So I have just a little bit of curve going, just to kind of match the shape of our hut. And to make it look like our hut actually is like really thick walls, you add just one more line on your right side, just on the inside like this. So when we shade in this part, now it'll look like we have a nice door walking through our hut. Isn't that cool? And you could do the same thing over here. So if we want to add a window, I'll add a square little window. So go ahead and add a square if you'd like. And then on this side, we'll put the line on the inside on the left. Just like that. And then go ahead and shade in on the right. So now this is cool. We got our door, we got our window, and let's keep going. So I want to add in another few bushes. So let's do some different shapes this time. I like this area to fill in a little bush. So I'm going to do just little circle shapes for our bush, going all the way back like that. Almost looks like a fluffy cloud. And then I'm going to do that same shape on this side. So I'm going to start behind the hut and do these really cool different curve shapes going all the way down to the sand. So now it looks like we have that nice sized bush going right behind our hut. And then I'm going to add another little funky plant, kind of like we did here on our left side. I'm going to start and actually have some more pointy shapes, maybe different sizes. Maybe do a small one, large. I have a medium one. I'm going to just kind of keep curving until I come all the way down to our sand. But you can make yours different. That's what's great about plants. They're always different shapes and sizes, so be creative on that. You can do anything you like. All right, and then I want to add one more palm tree kind of in the far back. So we're going to make sure when we put in our palm trunk, we're not going to run through any of these bush lines. We want to make sure it looks like it's behind it. So how we do that is we're going to start our line wherever your bush is at, right above it. But this time we're going to curve it going the other way. So I'm going to start wherever your bush is at. And we're going to curve our line over to the right. However tall you want to make your tree. And then I'm going to repeat that same step going back down the other way, and just make sure you stay right behind your bushes. So now it looks like our tree's sitting in the background. And then we're going to finish up our palm trees very similar like we did here, just like these palm shapes. So go ahead and do that same thing on this side. All right, awesome. We got 2 palm trees. And then I like the coconut look. So I'm going to add another coconut right here. Draw a nice circle shape. You could add more if you like. This is your island. That's the best part. I like just one here for me, so I'm going to just keep moving on. And then I want to add in a surfboard. I think a surfboard would be cool. Like maybe he paddled his way or surfed over to this deserted island. So the little room that I have here left, I'm going to add my surfboard kind of sticking out of the sand. So in order to do that, we're going to kind of come inside our beach line here. And I'm going to do a nice curve shape. So we're going to come up and curve to a point here, like that. And then I'm going to come on the bottom. I'm going to start on the bottom and come right down about a little bit over to the right. And we're going to do that same shape, but the opposite way, coming all the way up to a point here. And then come back down. And then I'm going to go ahead and erase our sand line here. So what's great about an eraser, we can erase that away. And then I am just going to move that line right across the bottom of our surfboard. Just a little line like that. Make it look like it's sticking in the sand. And then I want to add a little design to our surfboard. So we're going to just do 2 lines going right down the middle. Just like that. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and darken in my beach. Now going right behind the surfboard and into the water. And then any little area you want to erase and clean up, go ahead and do that now. Erase that a little bit. Awesome. So we have a really cool island here. I love that. So I want to finish off by just adding a couple little waves in the water. So we're going to add a couple little curve shapes like the water does. So I'm adding maybe another one here. And a few more little waves here. And then let's go ahead and finish that off with maybe just a few in the front of our island. And I'm going to go right to the other side there. All right, guys, we finished it. This is a really cool island, except we still need to color it. And we can always add a little extra details too. I think I'm going to add maybe a starfish, maybe a few rocks, or maybe some clouds kind of floating in the background. But remember, you guys can be creative too. So you add anything that you like. This is your island. So we're going to fast forward this part. So remember to pause the video and take your time to finish your drawing. Here we go. We did it, you guys. We finished our island. Look how great that came out. I had so much fun doing this, and I had even more fun coloring it. I like that I got to add a few extra things like the starfish with the smiley face on it, and even some clouds in the background. Remember, you guys can pause this video too. You can match the colors that I did, or you can do your own colors. And remember, you can even add things to it as well, like maybe a treasure chest or even some more palm trees. I hope you guys had a lot of fun today. This was a blast doing it with you. Thank you again, guys, for watching. I had a blast drawing this today. I hope you did too, and looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Until next time, I'll see you later.